play-to-earn gaming platform. And joining us now to discuss is Michael Wagner, CEO of Star Atlas. Hello there, Michael. So
dude, this
a lot
looks like
is
a
going on
Star
in
Citizen.
Star Atlas, your gaming platform. Break it down. Break down this world for us, for the user who goes onto the Star Atlas platform. What is these NFTs? How does it interact with tokens and such?
Sure. Well, good morning from the West Coast. Was not able to make it out to mainnet, but great to be here on the show. And Star Atlas is a virtual gaming metaverse that's centered around space exploration, territory control, and political domination. Those are the strictly gaming components. We are also focused in the long term on a metaverse experience, which will, I think, in many ways disrupt the way people interact socially, human experience, economics in general, as well as politics and governance. But we are building on Solana, and we're integrating various features of DeFi, like Project Serum, to further enable our players to earn a greater income off of time spent within the gaming metaverse itself.
Michael, can you break that down for us a little bit more specifically? When you say you're going to sort of like,
she's like, Michael, can you please speak fucking English to us? Because we can't really see what it is that you're seeing. Since you're this great visionary, we can't fucking picture it. Can you please tell us if you're just trying to swindle us and take our money, or you're actually creating something?
like change politics and like what does that actually mean?
Well, so that's obviously a very bold statement. What I'm referring to is that through the development of this digital world that will run essentially in parallel to our physical world, we're trying to reintroduce many of the same experiences and opportunities that are present for people globally, with the difference being that in the digital world, we're able to eliminate geographic borders as a friction point for things like employment. And so we've actually seen this with play-to-earn gaming in Axie Infinity, where an entire economy in the Philippines was able to be supported effectively through the Axie gaming model. We think that is going to be a major demographic for our player base, as well as major opportunity for people in developing nations around the world to be able to seek gainful employment, whether it's through the ownership of these NFTs or simply being employed by people within the metaverse itself in this digital world.
Michael, you mentioned Axie Infinity on Ethereum. I also have heard about.
He's like, bitch, please, I'm trying to discuss this. You asking me questions and you just interrupt me.
Rory on Solana, similarities and differences. Perhaps you can discuss.
You know, I'm unfortunately not as well appraised on the, I guess, competitive products out there right now in the play to earn space. We've been very much heads down in the trenches, developing ourselves. It's been quite a busy year for us. We just launched at the beginning of the year in January. We rolled out an NFT marketplace product in April that we developed for the launch of a campaign that we called Rebirth, Genesis of a Metaverse. And this was a digital art collectible campaign.
Cool,
and then more
models.
recently, to your point, we executed on our token generation event on an updated game economics and tokenomics
like
white paper, as well as rolling out our galactic asset offering.
Well,
so
oh my God,
unfortunately, my head's been...
Looks like Car2Wow. Some of these ships look like they've been ganked from other games, man. Cool designs.
Has been a bit in the sand, so not following along with too much that's going on externally. But I can tell you one of the things that really separates us or differentiates us is the simple fact that we're building out to a higher quality standard, so AAA quality gaming standard, which translates into cinematic quality, hyper realistic graphics for our players.
Mm-hmm. I also saw that you had an initial exchange offering on FTX, which sounds very similar to an initial coin offering, an ICO. Is this a security?
We certainly don't think of them as securities. These are...
Yes, but the SEC might. This is where it gets interesting, and this is why it's the Wild West of crypto right now. Like the coin Star Atlas. He is not labeling it as an ICO. He's not labeling it as an initial coin offering because it is a token inside of a game, but it is still a token that is being traded on FTX. It is still a coin that is being traded on a cryptocurrency exchange. So it's going to be difficult for him to kind of finagle his way out of saying that this is not a coin, that this is in fact not an asset. It absolutely is. So he better be careful here, because the SEC is probably going to say, hey, dude, this is in fact a cryptocurrency.
Utility-driven assets that are intended to be used within the Star Atlas metaverse itself. I mean, further to that point, we have generated, as you discussed early in the intro, we've generated approximately $50 million in revenue through NFT sales over the course of this year. And this is within our first 8.5 months of operation. So in no way was the issuance of Atlas or Polis intended to fundraise for us. It was the initial distribution of tokens for players that...
I need to research that. That's interesting. So he's saying that there is no funding coming from the actual token sale at all, or it being released on the exchange. I don't know, man. I'd have to see the white paper, because I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a certain percentage that is allotted towards private sector employees, board members, CEO. Almost all of them have it that way. In fact, Cardano, which is one of the most community-driven tokens out there with a huge market cap, still has a small sliver set aside for people who work at IOHK. So I think that's a pretty interesting statement. I got to look into that.
Are intending to use those within the Star Atlas metaverse itself. So Atlas being a medium of exchange, transactional currency, Polis being more directed towards governance and long-term development decision-making surrounding the metaverse itself.
Michael, can you tell us a little bit about your users? Where are they based? Is there any kind of interesting geographic distribution? Are they young, older, male, female? Just I'm curious about like who's actually using this.
Well, once again, it is still pretty early in development. We don't have a final product rolled out right at the moment. We have a mini game experience that we are introducing in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, a mini game that's going to be completely shit, and they probably don't have the analytics yet to see what the fuck's going on in terms of the demographics. It's so brand new. They're literally right now just releasing NFTs on the market to collect the money. They are in like collecting money phase. I mean, I can tell by the way he's talking right now. They're in collecting fucking money phase is what they want to see, exactly what the interest is in the game, and they want to see what the revenue is that they can bring in through NFT sales. That's where they're at. That's what I can gather.
This would be the first playable experience by our user base, but we do obviously track traffic. And to my point about developing nations being kind of a favorable demographic, we're seeing a lot of adoption, a lot of use, or at least hits to the site from Brazil, also from Southeast Asia.
They do have demographics.
From South Africa, perhaps surprisingly enough, as well as in India. So what we have to reconcile in
India, that is so interesting, as India is banned like crypto. So there's still people in India that are like, fuck you, government. So that's good. They do have analytics able to see who's coming into their site. So that's interesting.
Launch, Michael.
The full launch is many, many years, I would say. This is intended to be a progressive project.
Yeah, like these are such basic fucking questions, man. When is it gonna launch? Like it's gonna launch anytime fucking soon.
That rolls out in phases. So we build out 2 concurrent products. The first of which is this mini game in-browser experience. At some point, we will develop a complementary mobile application that makes it more broadly accessible.
Here's the thing I will say about this. First off, it's on blockchain technology. You know, like Jam is saying, is it just me, or is there like a red flag on this concept game? I would say this. The reason why I think it's coming off fishy is because it's absolutely in like collect the fucking money mode. Like right now, they are in like, how much money can we bring in on the NFTs? They want to see exactly how much money they can bring in, period. So like that is screaming to me like, oh shit, without giving us much more than that. All they're giving us is NFTs right now and a really nicely designed website. So yeah, like right now, that's what it feels like to me as well. What I want to see is what is the next step? Like what I want to start seeing is just like, okay, great. Now where are we going from here? Show us what we're developing. Like show us the next steps to get us to where we're at. Be transparent. Have your own channel. Talk to us just like the fucking way that Star Citizen Cloud Imperium does. They start having a channel. They bring together their community. They start releasing like, here's where we're at. They show us the steps and stages. I'd feel a lot better. I'd feel a lot better about Star Atlas if they approach it that way. In fact, anybody that wants to start crowdfunding on this type of a level, whether it be, you know, on the traditional way, which is actually an evolution of gaming funding, which Star Citizen doing, but now I have to call it like the classic wave of, which is the irony there is just dripping, but like the classic model, which is through crowdfunded sources, and or if you're doing this crypto kind of model, this NFT model, is I want to see I want transparency. I want transparency. I want to see it very similar to the way SIG has set this up. I want to see this set up in stages, and I want to see where you're going, where you're at. You know, I want to know the insides of the actual game development.
But at the same time, we're developing out in this Unreal Engine game engine technology. This is the
like,
fully
I don't
immersive
understand
3D
any
world,
of this.
and you know, that component. While we intend
so essentially what they're trying to give you is a world in which it's very much Star Citizen 3D world. Okay, so that's what they're trying to do, Sketch. And they're raising money through something called NFTs, which are called non-fungible tokens. It's a digital asset that you can own and put in a digital wallet. And that digital asset could be worth a lot more than what you spent on it, or it could be worth absolutely zero. But the point is that money that's pouring into those, where people are buying these NFTs that you can digitally own, that nobody can copy, and you can say on the blockchain that I actually own this. That's how they're raising their money. They're raising their money that way. And it sounds like they've raised over 40 million from this video back in September through NFTs alone. And I can guarantee you the number's probably at least doubled since then. And I would say that, you know, why it sounds fishy to a lot of people watching right now is because they are in money collection mode. They are straight money collection mode. So like, I want to see a shift. I will believe much more in the project if I start to see like this team start to put together this community in such a manner like Cloud Imperium did. If they do that route and they start showing us where they're at, the steps, where they're involved at, their offices, the same thing that we're seeing at Cloud Imperium, then I'll take it more seriously. But until then, yeah, I'm with you guys. It just feels like right now they're just sucking in money, because that is exactly what they're doing. And they're doing it because they want to see how much they can bring in, because that'll determine a lot. That'll determine, like, you know, where they're going to go as far as like their offices, how much they're going to spend on the people that they've got there, what people they're going to go after. This is all kind of like price discovery mode. It's exactly where Star Atlas is at, but it still intrigues me very much, because if I can be in a game that gives me the same experience as Star Citizen does, but when I own that land, I can sell things for a token in the game, and take that token and take it onto an exchange and then sell it for real life fiat, you fucking sold me. That interests the hell out of me. And a lot of people, it doesn't, because they don't want that involved in their games. And I understand it, because it blurs the line between real life. What is real life? Like how can I get real value out of a video game, DG? Easy. And you're all going to find out, because it's going to happen one way or another. And it might not be Star Atlas that does it. There's going to be another game that does it. And by that time, when that shit happens, people are going to be like, what the fuck? I didn't see this coming. And if you're in the game and you're buying fucking land in a game that gets very popular, and you're buying it with a token that has a real life value attached to it, and you can take that token, then you can sell it, and you're literally selling digital land for real life fiat, and you're making fucking money hand over fist. I don't know, man. Sounds pretty fucking interesting to me. Well, that's a great question, Sketch. So non-fungible tokens is the same thing. It's like a token. It's like a coin. It's like owning a crypto coin, but it's not a currency. It's like a digital asset. It's kind of like owning a piece of art. That is a great question, Sketch. So imagine like buying a piece of art, right? You could go to a museum and you say, I like that painting, right? Well, in the digital world, anybody could copy that like 10 times over and say, well, this is the original painting, or that's the original painting, and I did the original painting. I got the original painting. This is an original. This is an original. NFTs take that out of the equation, that copy paste mode. NFTs show on the blockchain that you bought that piece of work from this person. And there's no way anybody can hack it. There's no way that anybody can corrupt it. And some people would say like, well, it's just a digital piece of art. It's not even art because it's not on a canvas. My girlfriend says that shit. And I say to her, imagine a metaverse or a world that you can plug into and then you can put that piece of art up on the wall because you fucking own it. Because that's where it would go. And people who plug in think that it's more real than being in the real world, like Ready Player One. We're so far ahead of this. We're so far ahead of this. This is a lot of speculation, but that's where it could go to. Or somebody who's very famous. One dude died, okay? And 10 days before he died, he took a picture every day of the last days of his life. And he made them NFTs, digital assets you can own. Those are worth so much fucking money right now. It was an original idea, original concept, somebody taking pictures in the reel, sharing his fucking story. And it was like a lot of people resonated with that and they think that there's value in it. Now, who knows? A year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, it might not be worth anything. But also 5 years down the road, it might be worth a lot to own something like that. And that is the speculative nature of the art world. This is art. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people would disagree, but if you can own it and nobody can copy that, and you have that original NFT, that non-fungible token, it's the real life asset, then maybe perhaps it is worth something. Yeah, it's like it's almost like that. It's almost like card collecting as well. You can compare it to card collecting as well. You know, being able to steal any of these things is damn near impossible, Verpine. If you are taking these assets and putting them into your wallet, there is literally no way that anybody can steal it. That's the beauty of crypto and blockchain right now. The only way that somebody can hack it is if you have it on an exchange. But if you take it and you put it into your own wallet, the only way that somebody can take it is if they have your like 25-word seed phrase, which is ridiculously difficult to do. And these are 25 words or 20 plus words that you write down. It's called a seed phrase. It's like a key or a password to your wallet. And trust me, nobody's breaking through that shit, dude. It is nothing that somebody's going to be able to steal. So that's what you can do with your crypto as well. You can do that with Star Atlas tokens. You can do that with any token, any crypto. You can find a wallet and put it in your own wallet, whether it's a hardware wallet like a ledger or whether it's an online wallet. Personally, cold storage I think is a lot safer in terms of security, but it's also something I don't want to carry around with me if I fucking lose it. That's something that you got to think about in terms of storage of crypto. The blockchain itself, it's in the code and it's an online ledger, and it is absolutely not hackable, at least in terms of some of the blockchains out there. Other blockchains are susceptible. Some blockchains are absolutely susceptible, but there are a couple blockchains out there that there's just, you can't do anything to it. So, I don't think there's any way that there's going to be they talked about quantum computing actually, and they did talk about like this evolution in quantum computing and quantum processors, and they talked about how maybe if we hit that stage there might be more of a security threat with that. So Verp, you might have something there, you know what I mean? Like there is that to it. So that's actually quite an interesting take, because I was going to say there's no way to hack it, but that's not true. Like Verb says, there's people thinking of ways to always take what you own, to find a way to hack or steal what it is. And frankly, at this stage of the game, there is not. But that doesn't mean like with quantum computing that something can actually happen where somebody finds a way to actually break the code. I've done a lot of research on this. I don't think it's something that's hackable, but you never know. I mean, there's always that probability and possibility for something like that to happen. But I just find this whole space absolutely interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like, I hope you guys learned a little bit more about them. It is something that if you take the time to research, a lot of people just shy away from it because it is so heavy and intensive in terms of each blockchain's different. And they don't understand the difference between, the crypto and the NFT, and they don't understand that most crypto out there is absolute garbage. 95% of cryptos that are listed out there are absolute meme coins, shit coins, garbage. Okay. But there's actually a small layer. Okay. There's a small amount of blockchain out there and the coin that's associated with the blockchain that has real life applications. And one is the art world with the NFTs. Okay, and the other is DeFi, which is decentralized finance, and it's really going to change the way banking is going to be done. And these are discussions not for this channel, but I love having these discussions. I just wanted to get a better read on Star Atlas, and I feel like we have. I feel like this was a kind of a good visit to see what's going on. They're in price discovery mode, trying to figure out how much revenue they can take in right now. That's really where they're at. Website, honestly, really nice. I actually dig the website. The website's very well put together. I gotta say, I was a little bit impressed with the overall layout of it. I like scrolling to and fro, if you will. Very, very nicely put together website. Very, very nicely done. So this gives me a little bit of hopium, as it were, because I mean, like, it's not like it's a Garbo website. They took the time to design it correctly. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, like, this is something where time will tell. This is not going to be anything soon. But it's encouraging me to see that the work is starting to be done, at least in this area. And time will tell. All right, Pepe. Pepe, wake up. Pepe.